Unit 1, Knowledge of Capital Markets. In this section, we're going to talk about the capital markets. We're going to talk about the primary market. We're going to talk about the secondary market. We're going to talk about who the players are in each of these markets. 16% of the questions on the exam come from Unit 1. Now, regulators. Who regulates the securities industry? The securities industry is regulated by many different groups. The first group we are going to talk about will be federal regulators. This includes the SEC, this includes the FDIC, and this includes the FRB. Now, the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, this is the main governing body of the securities industry. This is the main governing body of the securities industry. The FDIC regulates banks. You have a bank account, you have FDIC insurance of up to $250,000. And then who regulates banks would be the FRB, the Federal Reserve Board. Now, the security industry is regulated not only by the SEC, and it's also regulated by several SROs. SRO stands for self-regulatory organizations. Those would include FINRA, the MSRB, and the CBOE. Now, FINRA is a membership organization. Broker-dealers are members. This is going to be the main SRO we're going to be talking about. FINRA regulates member firms, also regulates associated persons, those persons registered with a member firm, such as a registered representative or a registered principal. Next, we see the MSRB, Municipal Securities Rulemaking Board. The MSRB is an SRO that regulates municipal bond dealers, and the CBOE, Chicago Board of Options Exchange, is an SRO that regulates the options industry, Now, the primary regulator as it relates to SROs for the securities industry is FINRA, and that's going to be our primary focus. The only thing I would ask that you do as it relates to MSRB and CBOE is understand that those are SROs as it relates to the securities industry. Also know that the MSRB regulates municipal bond dealers and the CBOE regulates the option industry, puts and calls. Another regulator would be the SPIC. Now, the SPIC is going to provide insurance coverage for customers in the event of broker-dealer bankruptcy. Now, how much coverage do I have? How much SIPC coverage do I have? I have $500,000 in coverage per customer, not account, with no more than $250,000 of that coverage for cash. Now, what's cash? Uninvested money, a free credit balance. Now, SIPC coverage is per customer, not per account. Well, what exactly does that mean? Let's say that I have an account with a broker-dealer. I have a margin account with a broker-dealer in my name only. With that same broker-dealer, I have a cash account in my name only. Now, there are two different accounts, both titled the same, both in my name. I'm seen as one customer, and I have one set of coverage. One customer, I have one set of coverage. What if I have a margin account with a broker-dealer in my name, a joint cash account in my name and my wife's name, and I'm also the custodian of my son's custodial account. All of these accounts are with the same broker-dealer. How many accounts do we have? The margin account, the cash account, and the custodial account. There are 3 accounts. How many customers do we have? Well, each account is titled differently. Therefore, there would be 3 different customers, and we would have 3 sets of coverage. The margin account was in my name only. The joint cash account was in my name and my wife's name, and the custodial account is in my name and my son's name. So 3 accounts, all 3 titled differently, 3 sets of coverage. Now, what if I have a cash account in my name only? In that account, there's $300,000 in cash, uninvested money. And there's $200,000 in securities. So the account value is $500,000. $300,000 in cash, $200,000 in securities. How much SIPC coverage would I have? $450,000. Now, the $200,000 in securities would be fully covered, but of the $300,000 in cash, only $250,000 of that would be covered, so I would have $450,000 of coverage. That leaves me with $50,000 of cash that would not be covered by SIPC. Where would I go to file a claim regarding that $50,000 uncovered? I would have to go to the bankruptcy court and file as a general creditor.